Hi, Natalie. Welcome to What If I Say Yes? How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. How are yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. So, first, I'll let you introduce yourself to my audience. Who are you, Natalie?
Oh, I am a woman of many hats. My name is Natalie. I am a mother, a UGC content creator, a freelance photographer, a business owner, entrepreneur. I just have I don't put everything in one basket. So I like to just venture out. So I'm a lot of things, roles, you could say.
Okay, and then now let's establish a relationship. How do we know each other, Natalie?
You are my titi, you're my aunt. So I've met, I don't know how many years it's been, to be
Many.
honest with you, many years. Met you obviously through my uncle and I was a kid. And, I had the pleasure of getting introduced to my aunt, to you. And it's been a pleasure since then. And we just had many experiences learning how you've taught me baking, I got to taste some of your baking treats. And we've done a song together, which it was like a long time ago that we recorded some song that I remember as a kid. Those are those certain memories that I remember. So yeah, it's that's how we met, and wouldn't have it any other way.
So you call me Titi because
You're my titi, titi Lucia.
so that's like like the term. It must be Puerto Rican.
Yes.
Okay. It's funny because it sounds similar to, we have a family of friends, the Wilson's family. So Prima is from Indonesia, and they have a son, Marvin, and they told him to call us, I think it's Tita and Tito.
Ah, that's interesting.
It sounds close to Titi.
Yeah, it does.
So anyway, my memories of you when you were a little girl. So Carlos and I, we were dating. We were living in New York City. You were living in New Jersey, in Trenton, correct?
Yes.
And so I don't know if I met you the first time when we went to your mom's graduation for her associate degree.
Think so, in Mercer County.
Or if I met you at your grandparents' home in Willingboro, and then all the adults were talking and kind of not paying attention to you, and so I decided to just hang out with you and hang out with you. Is that the time when we made the song?
I think so. I just remember being in Theo's his room where he used to stay, and grandpa's house. And I remember that we were in there, and there was this machine that was like a pre-recording machine or something like that, and we were able to have beats and everything. And I just remember us we were around the family, so it must have been that same day where we escaped from everybody and just started doing something, writing lyrics down, and just came up with a song. That's all I remember. Those little snippets of those memories, those things stayed in my head.
I kind of remember also a box. Were we making like a house or something with a car box?
I don't remember.
I have the memory of that. So maybe yes, maybe not, but I think we were doing something with the box. So anyway, and then you moved to Florida. Yep. And we have not seen each other that much, but we have visited maybe,
I think twice, maybe. I remember.
Maybe 3 times, more than 2, definitely.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, but then we have kept a relationship through Skype first, and then Zoom. And I've had the pleasure of seeing you grow up and become a mom, and then I don't know what you're gonna tell us about your What If I Say Yes moment, but becoming an entrepreneur, basically. So, okay. So now that everybody knows who are you in our relationship, how we met each other, it's precisely because I've seen you grow grow up and become this wonderful woman that I wanted to have you in my channel. And so I asked you to think of a moment in your life when you asked the question, what if I say yes? And then you said yes, and then you did something. I don't know what's gonna be. So the floor is yours.
The moment I said yes was when I decided to start my online business. I did do photography before that, but it was never stressed upon. Like I just did it as a little, passive income, and I enjoyed it. But I was still, I guess I was still looking for, just searching for that thing for me. And when I did my online boutique, it was more about mental health and really just explaining, because I have my own like diagnosis of like when I was in therapy, and I was like, why not put those, affirmations and something positive on merchandise to sell? And that's where my boutique came in. So I decided to, create a boutique online and just kind of go from there. And I just said, I just went with it. And I could have probably had a business plan, didn't have one, just just winging it and just like, we're just gonna to rip the band-aid and do it. And that's exactly what happened. I started doing, I think it's been about over a year now. Actually it's almost 2 years, where I started my online boutique. And so that's the moment I said yes to that. And I think that kind of, from that photography into my boutique, I think it opened my eyes and my door to more opportunities to venture out and not kind of put myself in the box of just boutique and photography. So that's where now I'm entering other aspects of that type of like social media platforms and just learning behind the scenes of like content creating and everything else. So I guess that's where that yes opened, that started off to everything else that kind of played into it.
So when you say you were doing photography and you felt that that wasn't it, what is it that you were looking for? What is it that you
Well, I think I was, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, what is it that you were looking for? What is it that you wanted?
I was looking for, I guess, that fulfillment, something that was making a difference, something that made me happy, like something I can wake up to and just feel like, oh, I'm ready to do this every day, and something that I was just very excited to do, and that filled that void of happiness I guess I was missing. Because I'm not that one, and not to knock it from everyone else, but to one that goes to like a 9-to-5 job, I just feel like to me it's just not for me. It's something I always wanted to work for myself. I always wanted to have the freedom of just the flexibility of finding something that gives me that sense of joy to wake up and just like very excited to do something in my life that brings me income and I get to enjoy doing it. And so I guess that's the void I was trying to fill. And I did photography and I do enjoy it, but it's not filling that void that I was searching for. And so I do it on a passive income. If someone's like, hey, I have, a birthday coming up, I'll do it because it's money. But there's not like I'm putting stress into it. I'm not putting a whole, promotional website, like everything deep into it where I could, because I don't want it to be my primary income or my primary focus right now. And I think that's what I was looking for.
Okay, so now being a mom, does it help that you get to do this on your own time while your son is in school maybe?
It does. Of course, like photography, definitely, because most of the time it's day shifts or like daytimes anyway. And sometimes it's weekends, which might be a bit challenging, but most of the time is not an issue. I don't have consistent clients where it's a problem. But for my online boutique, no, it doesn't give me issues. I love the flexibility of it. I get to just do things on my own time. Same with content creating. I get to work with brands on my own time. Like, of course, there's deadlines and things like that for the brands on when content's due. But the fact that I have the flexibility when he's in school to come home and create my content and just focus strictly on that with no interruptions, and it's just me at home, silence, and I get to vibe out and just be in my zone. That's the perfect, ideal for me. And that's what I want to venture out to full time. So I think it just kind of works out with my schedule, and it just, fits it fits.
Okay, so now I'm from a very different generation than yours. I barely know how to use Zoom. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Instagram. I created this channel because it was kind of easy, something that I could do. I don't even know what generation I am and I don't know which generation you are, like when they give generations the names. What generation are you? Do you know?
Millennial.
So you're a millennial. So I just know that I'm not related. And there are a lot of things about technology and social media that I'm not aware of.
Right.
I can assume that based on the people I've interviewed so far, my audience is more or less my age and older. So for these people, do me a favor and explain everything as you were teaching us a class. What is this? When you say I have an online boutique, what does it mean? How do you do it? How do you sell it? What, like, take us through the process, like, just basically knowing that we don't know anything about this.
Okay, so as far as my online boutique goes, it depends on what direction you decide to go with it. Me, I personally decided to do print on demand, where in my case, I don't have the inventory on hand. My stuff is all strictly online. So what I do is there's a third party and I use them to create the product. I create the design and I put that design on a t-shirt or a mug or a tote bag, and I go and submit that. And when someone orders, it goes to that third party to create the
Wait. Give me a specific example. So for example, I want to sell what? I'm the third party and I'm selling what?
So if you're third party, you're the one that would provide like the merchandise. So if you're
say I'm selling these flowers.
Mhm.
And then I contact you.
Right.
And then what is it that you do
So
with these flowers?
If it's your case, you have the inventory in the house. So in that situation, that's a different thing. So with that, I would be the one that you put, like if it's Etsy, you can post your flowers on my website and I bring the traffic to help you get some sales to your that site, your shop on my, website.
So you advertise them with the people who go to your site and see my flowers, they get to go to my Etsy store.
Yes.
Okay, so that's one way to do it.
That's one way to do it, yes.
What's the other way?
What I do, this is the way I'm doing it, is that, so let's say that you don't have the flowers behind you, but you see online that there's a place that sells flowers. So instead of you having it all collected in your own home, you go and you use that brand or that company for their flowers, and whoever orders, let's say I'm the customer, I ordered from you, but you're not the one sending it from your direct home. When I buy something from your Etsy shop and you're selling flowers, instead of you shipping it yourself, it goes to that other company that you're using. So they're the ones handling shipping and all the production to give me the flowers, but it's from your site.
Okay.
So it's like a middleman. So you don't have to do any of the shipping. You don't, as the boutique owner, you don't have to do any shipping. You don't have to do anything when it comes to the processing of it, the production of the product.
Give us an example of the latest thing you've sold or you promoted in your site.
Well, the latest thing I promoted was a t-shirt. I'm promoting King and Queen t-shirts that match, like matching King and Queen t-shirts for like Valentine's. That's what I was promoting. That's something I don't have on hand. That's something that is on like they produce it. So it's on my site on Etsy. And if I get an order, which I did, I don't have to do any production like that, but I submit I submit the order. So it goes to the other website and they produce it, and it goes straight to the customer. But then I profit and they profit. So we both get a percentage of the profit.
So I go to your boutique online and I see those t-shirts. I like them. I want to buy them. I buy them in your site. But then the process is like behind the curtain.
Right.
This other company is the one that gets your order, processes the order and ships them to me who order in your website. And so they make money, you make money.
Right.
Oh my God. Okay. So what do you do to promote the products? How do you make them a product that I would like to buy in your boutique?
So that's a bit of the challenge when it comes to drop shipping and print on demand, because I don't have the inventory on hand. So sometimes I'll buy some samples from my own boutique just so I can have some things to wear, or like I have tote bags on me now because I use them myself and I'm promoting with it. I have a few mugs, I only buy samples and that's my way of promoting. But if it's not in that situation where I don't have the product on hand, I use like mock-ups. So I use like mock-up models or videos where they're showing the design on their shirt or whatever the case may be, and I use that video to promote with. And it's just people I never met, but it's a mock-up, just to be able to have something to promote with.
What's a mock-up or that thing?
It's a mock-up.
I don't even know what the word is.
So mock-up is, let's say, it's like a model that has like a plain shirt, and you could choose the color. It's a white shirt. You choose the color that the shirt's gonna be for whatever you're promoting. It says black, and then for the king or queen, right? Yeah, I put the design of king and queen on there, and I use that as my video.
But the model is a live person. It's
a live person, but it's like a mock-up, so you can actually use it for your own benefit. It's just like a fake advertisement video. So
how do you get that video, or how do you ask that person to model? Or I'm telling you, you have to explain everything to me.
It's okay. So it's a website for that too. It's called Place It.
Okay. So that's their product.
Literally that.
They have models,
mock-ups. They sell designs for shirts if you wanted that, or whatever the case is that you're looking for. So it's models that literally just, I guess they submit, like, and they put a white shirt on them or a tank top, whatever the merchandise is, and then you can put whatever design on it and use that to help advertise if it's strictly like a print on demand or something like that, or like your website.
So do you buy that video?
So you have to pay model? It's a membership for that website.
Oh. Okay. So sometimes you use those videos with those models and you place whatever you're trying to sell on them, on their t-shirts or whatever they have. Sometimes you are the model yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Is your son also? Is Jaden also modeling?
I have a few shirts for kids. It's not my primary focus. He does have like 2 shirts that he can use to model with. And he has done it for me, but it's been a minute. I actually would have to like up it, like on as far as the content for him, because like I said, he only has like 2 shirts, and so I have to do like mock-ups for kids or use him for those 2 shirts I have on hand. So it's a bit more challenging on that end.
What does he think about your business and about what you do?
He loves it. He's very supportive. He's very excited. Like, I'm like, Jay, I got a sale today. Oh, that's cool. What did they buy? He's very interested in learning what's going on with my business, especially content creating. Loves that. That's a whole nother, he wants to get involved in that more. As far as like the online boutique though, he does support me, and he likes to help me, like if I'm packaging something, he's like, Mom, can I help? Or if I have to, like, because I do have some inventory on hand, and it's not the apparel, it's not tote bags or mugs, it's like self-defense products. So those I have with me, and those I could do like packing videos and show more of the product. And that sometimes he'll want to help me with behind the scenes of like, Mom, can I help you pack? Can I help this and that? And so, or if I get new inventory coming in, he likes to unbox that too. So he loves to get involved, and I think it motivates him, to like create things himself, his own content and things like that. So it's very exciting to see that he's excited about it.
Now, when you say content creation, explain to all of us who don't do that or do that very little, what that means.
Okay, so there's for content creating, it's like one of those topics where it could be a very broad, it's content creating could be branches too. And in the case for me, my content creating, it could go in the branch of my business because I'm creating content to promote, or I'm creating content for photography to show behind the scenes of me taking photos of somebody. That's content. But as far as what I just recently got into was UGC, content creating. And that stands for user generated content. So the exciting part about that is that I'm a consumer myself, and I'm creating content for brands that I actually use myself. And I talk about
the called user
generated content.
User generated content. Okay.
And it's usually, you'll hear it as UGC. And so when I try to explain it, because I've had brands that were like, wait, what's that? And because they're so used to just influencers and just like with high following. And I'm like, well, what UGC is a bit different. We're consumers using products that other consumers are gonna, you're kind of like, and a way to think about it is, if you see an ad and you see someone promoting something and you see like that exaggeration of like the hair flowing in the wind, and they're washing their hair and it's like super like luscious and all that stuff, it's like, okay, that's not realistic though. But when you see like me using that same product and I'm like, hey guys, I really like this product because of these benefits and it really does make my hair this and it does that, you're going to feel more trusting towards that person versus the ad that you see, with the hair luscious looking all shiny. So that's what I do. I'm that consumer that creates products that are authentic and relatable for brands to be able to post it on their social medias and my own social medias if that's the agreement, and just promote that brand so to help them get more exposure for more authentic, for consumers, like everyday consumers like ourselves, to use that product.
So I've seen you, for example, making videos about your daily skincare routine. Do you buy those products, or do those companies send you the products for you to make the video?
Well, it depends if I'm doing, because I've done vlogs where it's products I've bought, but in some cases it's products like the recent one that I did, those are products that I actually received from collaborations. So I didn't pay for those. But I use it as a way to show that, because I do use those products now that I've like tried them. So I'm like, okay. So I did a vlog of like, hey, get ready to, do my morning care, skincare routine with me. And I utilize those products and I kind of gave them a shout out too at the same time. So they all kind of got like, oh, thank you for putting us out there. The brands commented, thank you for, adding us to this video and things like that. So it kind of helps to show like, that I'm definitely using these products. I'm not just trying to sell anything to you.
So now you make that video using those skincare products that this company send you. You post that video on your website, on your site, on your boutique store?
No, go ahead.
On your YouTube channel?
Yes.
Or TikTok?
Yeah.
Okay, so you post those videos there. But do they also get to use those videos for their own website and company? Or so in other sites, do they take your video and use it to promote their products? Is that what you're saying?
They do. It depends on the well, most times yes, because this is the thing, it's kind of so complex because you have to have a contract, because most of these brands, they try to take your video and they'll use the video and try to twist it. They'll try to modify it in some way that fits for their own brand, which is not part of the agreement. Sometimes they don't even pay. Sometimes it could be just strictly gifted and this is an exchange for a video with a product. And so it's always good to be safe. And UGC creators deal with this on a daily, where these brands, they can sit there and they'll take the video, and some of them are very nice and they'll repost it, and that's the agreement. Okay, we agreed. I get the exchange of the product. I'll make the video. I'll post it on my social media, and you're okay to post it on yours. That's the agreement. But other times where those agreements, they kind of like take advantage of it, and they kind of like try to get raw footage from you. And you know what they can do with that raw footage, how many videos they can create and recreate and profit from. And then it was either a gifted collaboration or they was paid, but they didn't pay you enough for the content from the get-go, and they're profiting triple that of what they gave you. So it's a lot of like ins and outs. It's very, you have to like know your stuff. You have to like, that's why it's always good to do research and ask, because there's so many creators out there dealing with that. And there's even brands that ghosted and not paid creators before after creating the content. So it's always good to like watermark your product, but just to get the review and make sure you get your payment first. It's like so many little complex in the ins and outs to it. And so when I create the content personally, I create it, but if I know that the agreement was for them to post it on their social media and for me, then okay. And I don't even bother with the watermark. But if it's something where it's paid and I'm waiting for it to be approved for any like revisions that they might request, because they usually get like 1 or 2 revision requests for the content, then I'll do a watermark first so they can't do nothing with the video. They'll let me know, hey, can you change this, that? Okay, do it. And then I'll resend it with the watermark. Once they approve it, okay. And I already know they're going to post it on there. There's always that brand that tries to be sneaky and tries to still use it for like an ad or anything like that. And that's where it kind of gets complicated. So it's always good to have that protection in the contract. That's what I definitely stress, when you're doing UGC content creating.
So now you were doing photography, and then you thought, why don't I start this online boutique? At what point were you aware that you had to deal with contracts? Is that something you learned over time? Is that something someone told you? Did you contact other people who were doing the same thing? Like, what was the process? Because, I mean, right now it seems you're very knowledgeable about that, but were you like that at the beginning?
Definitely not. I can't sit here and say I was. No, I definitely wasn't. I had to learn the hard way. As far as photography goes, I need to do better with, because since I don't do it so much, I don't have, I have a contract, but I barely use it, because I have it's people I've had recurring clients that come to me like, hey, I would so I kind of trust them enough. We've done this before, but I know that I should officially do contracts, but as far as my content creating, with that, I didn't have contracts. I didn't have nothing. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just creating. And I had Amazon brands. Like, the first initial collaboration that I had was the Amazon brand for acne patches. That was the first initial brand I contacted. I had no idea what UGC, I don't know. That wasn't even on my spectrum of what I was doing. And so I was like, what was this? And I was like, well, I do vlogging. And I do talk about products I like to use, like if I go to Walmart or whatever anyway. So I was like, let me try it. It's free product, but they had a contract too, and I just signed it. But I was like, now I know what to look for in these contracts. Before, I didn't do that. This brand, they reused it, and they did get a lot of views on my video. But I was like, dang, if I would have known, you could get compensations for certain things. They used it for their brand, but they could have used it for an ad, and I would never have known. I would, unless I ran into it or something, So now I'm more careful. I did my research more. I've followed other UGC content creators on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, and most of them, some will have more experience. So I just learned from them, and they talked about contracts and what you always need to protect yourself and what to look for, what words in the contracts that you can pick for me. Oh no, that means that they're gonna have this usage forever to use this video, and I'm sitting here giving them all the full rights to the content when that shouldn't be it. So now, as I over time, I'm getting more and more familiar, and I'm becoming more confident when I'm creating with brands and collaborating with brands, even with rates, because a lot of them try to give you low ball rates, or some of them say they don't have a budget, and they do. They could be a brand that's known, and oh, well, they got a lot of good followers. They have a good amount of followers on this page and this page, but they're saying they don't have a budget to at least pay for one video. So, and it's well, they're promoting. If you think about it, most of these brands, they pay for advertisement companies. They pay for all that production, the team to create for them. So that much that they're putting all that money investing into, they could be doing it with UGC creators and paying way less for authentic, content. Mm-hmm. And so when they say, oh, I don't have a budget, you have a budget, you can afford it. You're just choosing to kind of sneak your way out of it. Say, oh, it's gifted. Now you're trying to make sure it's kind of it's not fair to creators, because we're putting in the work, we're putting in the time and work and editing. We have to do, and we're coming up with the concept for the video if you don't give us a script already. So it's all these things are coming into play, but it's you're kind of looking at us oh, well, you're just one person versus a team that, so it's they kind of put that money into the team versus the one person, which is not fair. So it's kind of we're trying to get that UGC, the team, the not even, I was gonna say opportunity, but the community and the whole is getting bigger. UGC is more known. A lot of people are getting into it now and learning a lot more about it. And brands are starting to understand what it is. So it's getting out there, and the prices are gonna be rising. That means that people are gonna understand that it's more important for their brand. And these UGC creators are not dumb. We're gonna be raising our prices now, because it's important for your brand. So it's they're kind of, we're getting, I think we're getting somewhere as far as the UGC community goes. So like I said, as I'm getting deeper into it, I'm learning way more about the ins and outs of UGC and what to look for. Of course, I would love to do more paid collaborations. That's always the challenge, is trying to pitch the brands and just trying to get that secure deals with them. and showing them what you can do for their brand and why it's beneficial. So yeah, that's to answer the question, even though I ventured out, contracts are super important, and I learned that the hard way. So I'm always stressing that to someone that's asking me questions, like someone that's trying to start the journey, to get into that with make sure you have contracts and always ask for advice if we need it.
Are you what it's called an influencer? Influencer?
No, I wouldn't classify myself as an influencer.
Tell us what an influencer is.
Those influencers really have like a really high following, and they're a bit different. Their content is not always authentic. It could be like aesthetically pleasing, content, and you can see like the house looking real like top notch. They're all clean all the time, like everything's like put together, and that's not reality. That's just not reality. And those are the influencers that always look like they're like very, you could just tell the difference in content. When it's authentic, when it's the UGC, it's more like I'm in my bathroom, you could see my toilet paper and my towels and my, like you could see like me. I'm, like me. I'm just authentic, and I'm not trying to make it look real pretty for the video, unless it's for a brand where they don't want no background and it could just be white or something, like that's different. But when I'm like showing like my kitchen and it's not aesthetically pleasing, that's all you can see the difference when there's a UGC content creator and the influencer. Influencers, they put more emphasis into that spot clean look.
So when you say they have a bigger following, how many people are we talking about, more or less?
I guess
like is it in the millions? Is it in the thousands?
I would say thousands. I would probably say like maybe starting to like influencer, I don't know, I'm trying to set like a bracket. I'll probably start with like 25,000 and up.
Okay.
That's probably like starting to like look into like the influencer mode. I know there's people that have started as UGC creators and kind of converted into an influencing, path because of their following, because now they have a different type of following and their audience is different. And so now they could cater to that, and they can get more, the collaborations with better and bigger brands and things like that. So it's kind of like converts them into it. But when you have a smaller following, the UGC is probably like the best route to go. Start off, at least.
So speaking of social media, what platforms do you use to promote your online boutique?
For me, I use TikTok. Instagram. I have Pinterest, but I'm still always trying to learn.
Now, going back to we don't know anything and we don't know what you're talking about. Can you tell us what do you do in TikTok? What is Instagram? Like just the basics.
So for TikTok is really it's mainly videos. It's really just, you have the opportunity to kind of like, I think I want to feel like it's for the younger crowd, and like, as far as demographics go, because most of the time, I mean, I'm noticing that a lot of like older generations getting onto TikTok too, which is awesome, because before it was strictly kind of the younger group, and you'd always see like they're doing dance challenges and things like that. On TikTok now, it's becoming more of like, and you see businesses using it to promote. You see UGC creators, you see people that love to cook, and so TikTok's becoming more versatile, and it's a great way. It's showing your videos, it's showing just being you. It's more authentic. It's I think that you kind of gain more traction on TikTok when you're actually educating your viewers on there, because it's something that they value. If you could show something that's valuable on your TikTok and something that you can teach others, and just something that, you're being yourself, you get more popular behind it. And I've noticed that.
How long are the videos?
It depends, because their algorithm is all over the place. You could, one day they said, 7 seconds is the best time to do it, like, because we all have a short attention span. Yes, 7 seconds. I said, 7 seconds, because we have a short attention span. Grab that attention quick so they can finish, and I'm like, okay. And then before it changed from that to like, they extended the time to 3 minutes now. So now it's up to 3 minutes that you can talk, and you could have like a, hey guys, just follow me today doing this and this and that, or hey, I just want to vent about this, and you can actually have a conversation on there, right? So it depends on like the algorithm at the time, what's popular, what's not popular. And then the time.
How do you figure out what the algorithm is saying?
That's the challenge of the day.
How do you find that out?
Because people post about when's the best times to post, how long is the best, like how long's the video, when's the best time to post, all these things. And you have to look at your audience, your target audience. When do they come to your page? How often do you, like, when's the traction really coming to your page? What times are you seeing them show up on your page? How long do you think they're watching it? What's the time, I don't know if I explain the term, but how long are they watching your videos? And it's like all these things, your demographics. How old are the people? You know, the demographics. What's the age? Is it between 18 to 24, 24 to 30? Like what's your target audience? And what nation are they? Are they in the US? What country? US, South America, like where? And cater to those audiences. And then you're like, okay, well, cool. I noticed that they're coming in around the morning time. That's the best time to post, because I noticed that most of my traffic is coming in the morning and everyone's attentive on that time. So I'm going to post my videos then. But there's other people that just post consistently throughout the day because they don't even know what works. They're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna post and see what sticks and what doesn't. And that's sometimes something I do sometimes, because it's like you try to post sometimes and you look at your insights and you see like, okay, cool, they're coming in around this time, and you post and you're not getting as much views as you expected for something that's valuable information. You're like, dang, I really put effort into this video. I'm not even getting enough views. So I'm like, you know what? And then so I just started see what works. I just threw them out there. And I noticed that my traction, like my videos, I'm staying consistent, and I'm not really focused more on the time that I'm posting. I'm not focused on how long the videos are. I'm noticing that I'm getting more traffic because it's just, I'm staying on it, and I'm doing educational videos and things that's just about me, or like equipment that I'm like, hey, this is a great product for content creators to use, or hey, I'm selling this, or whatever the case is. And I'm just back to back to back. And that's what kind of caters to the audience.
Okay, so TikTok is that videos, mainly short videos. I mean, I wouldn't be posting my interviews that are an hour long in TikTok, correct?
Right.
Nobody would. Okay, so that's TikTok. What is
Right.
Instagram, and what do you do there?
Instagram's a bit more, I mean, they put it up to a minute now for the videos. I believe it's a minute now. And you can do reels on there. They're stressing reels. So they're in competition with TikTok. They're always kind of like, oh, you're doing this? Oh, so am I. You know, so it's always kind of competitive. And so I noticed that reels are becoming more of a thing now, which is similar to TikTok because it's videos.
What's a reel?
A reel is like, it's a video with music. Basically, it's just showing you instead of just posting a photo. And you know how Instagram was strictly about photos before. It was really just about a gallery. It was like basically just a gallery, and posting captions under your picture, and just like you know, just kind of engaging using hashtags to get attention to the photo. Now they have reels where it's videos, and you can post a video and you can talk about something educational on there as well. And it's the same idea as TikTok, and that's why they're in competition with each other. You can, you know, educate, and that's how you get more views, the educational things. And oh guys, this video, it's this sound right here that I'm using is trending. Use this sound now. Use this sound, and you know, because it has this many of views on, or whatever usage on it. Like if it's like under 10K usage on that sound, and it's trending, then use that sound now, because before, when it gets higher than that, that means it's going to be harder to find your video.
Okay.
Using sound. So it's like educational things. So reels are becoming more popular on Instagram.
Do you pay for that music?
So the thing with that is it depends on the music that you're using. So it depends. If you're like, for me as UGC content, we're not supposed to use like videos that are copyrighted on those videos for brands, because they could get sued, we could get sued, all that. But if it's like, you know, just me, come with me, spend the day with me, right? And I'm doing a quick snippet of my day, then I can use those sounds because it wouldn't be an issue. But for commercial sounds, I usually use those commercial sounds and they're all free. I use the commercial sounds for my brands and like the branding, you know, content that I do.
Are they copyright free?
The commercial ones are.
The commercial ones are. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've talked about TikTok and Instagram. What other? social platforms do you use? Social media
use
platforms. I
Facebook.
don't even know how to use the terms. What other platforms do you use?
I use Facebook as well. I'm not super, that's something that I'm still like, I had it for a minute, but it was never for business or that was really family, friends, you know, what it was originally made for. And
Mhm.
now that they have it, like they have groups for businesses, they have opportunities for you to promote your business. Now I'm trying to learn that spectrum of Facebook. And it's still something I can't really deeply talk about as expertise on because I'm still learning it myself too. But I do use it for my businesses, for my boutique, for photography. I don't use it for my UGC because it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth me doing a UGC page on Facebook, to be honest with you. But I do know that there's UGC pages for people to like like opportunities. Hey, we're looking for the UGC creator. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then I'll go and comment like, hey, I'm interested in send my portfolio and everything like that. But I don't use it for my UGC like as a page strictly for it for my, personally. But Facebook is a really good resource as well if you know how to utilize it, right? You can use it for ads and things like that for Facebook. I mean, Facebook ads, you can use it for like your business and things like that. So you can promote your products. So it's a good way to get yourself out there. And you can also like do business groups and things like that. So you can get everyone in one shot. Talk about like deals that you might be having or like events that you might be having to promote your business or things. It's really beneficial if you just, use it for your benefit in a way that you. So yeah, I think it's a good platform too.
So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Anything else?
Pinterest, but that one I can't even.
What is Pinterest?
So Pinterest is the way it was is really for like it's cool for like DIY. Wow, look at me. You have to cut that piece out. DIY.
What is that? Tell us what those letters mean.
DIY is like do it yourself projects. So Pinterest is good for that. It's good for businesses because businesses do use Pinterest.
Wait, do it yourself is
DIY. Do it
yourself. Okay. No, there's a Y there. Sorry, go back. So Pinterest is basically or was basically for do-it-yourself projects.
Yeah, it really was.
Did it change?
It did change, yeah, because now you can see like people promote like their brands on there as well. You'll see businesses promoting. So it's definitely beneficial. There's people that do cooking and they promote their cooking, like their workbooks or just showing their product, like their recipes and things like that. Because there's videos you can put on there too. So you can put videos or pictures on there as well. You can do like pins. They call it pins, where you can pin your stuff and you can categorize it. So if you have like a page, let's say you have your Pinterest is set up, you can put all of your cooking content into one and you can pin it and say cook with me or whatever title you want to put it. And then the next one could be if you're working out and you do workouts too, you can put that as your category, just workouts, and you can put all your workout content in there. And that stuff kind of, you get people onto your page because they're like, oh, I really want to know some recipes or learn some new recipes, or oh, I've been trying to get into workouts. Let me see what workouts she's doing. And it's how you kind of gravitate and you start getting your traffic onto your page too, because you have everything in organized. That's the thing about Pinterest is everything is organized in its category. So it has its own type of audience for, what caters to the category that you need, which is cool.
Are you using Pinterest?
I do have.
I'm not that much.
No, I'm not on it as much as I should be, to be honest with you, because it's so, to me, it's, how some social media platforms you just understand a bit more than others. They all have their own like algorithms. They all have their own ways of like what's the content that you need to post and the type of audience that you need to gather, and it's a bit different. So Pinterest to me is a little bit bit more of a puzzle for me. Same with Facebook. So those main two things that I'm always like really on is Instagram and TikTok, and I'm understanding them better as I go along. But as far as those two, those are a little bit more of a thing for me. So I'm trying to learn those two, and but they all benefit in its own way. That's the thing, is that they all benefit. Even YouTube, I have a YouTube channel too, and I use that, but I don't always promote. Like if I use it, it's promoting like on the shorts, the YouTube shorts.
Explain to
promote.
us what the difference is between just posting an interview on YouTube and a short.
So YouTube is a longer video. Definitely, you can be more in depth with the content. As far as the shorts, it's only up to a minute.
Up
So-
to a minute. Oh my
Up to 1
goodness.
minute. Yes, it's only up to a minute. So you have to, it's just like the reels, you know, and just like TikTok, like, well, TikTok's 3 minutes now, but the fact is that it has to be quick, you know, something, a fast video, something that's going to grab the attention, something that you get your point across in that minute. And so that's what I use for some of my content, because most of my the brand content that I do, it's not more than what I want to say 50 minutes, or 50 minutes, listen, 50 seconds. It's not more than 50 seconds. So they always fit onto that. You know, I could do a YouTube short and promote. And so that kind of helps me, like, hey, if there's any brands out there and they run into my short on YouTube, oh, cool. She does brand content. Let me contact her. Let's see if we can work with her. So I promote it on there as well. And I also promote my own brand. So I have like my keychains on there. Sometimes I show like me packing a video and I'll post it on there. So I don't really put it on my regular, you know, my main YouTube, because that's a longer, that right there, I would have to like talk in a video or do a voiceover and like, hey guys, follow me. But that would have to be a longer video, because I don't think personally it's worth it for me to put a video that's less than a minute onto my main YouTube page, when I could just put on the shorts and make it a quick, you know. And I'm noticing that YouTube shorts are becoming more popular, and those are things that grab attention versus the videos sometimes on YouTube. So it depends on what the content's about. So if it's something that's, you know, is all, like I said, a short attention span, or what kind of attention you want to grab? Do you want to just get like a real quick, oh guys, buy this keychain real quick, and blah, 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 then YouTube short. But if I'm talking about my day, spend a day with me, and it's like a nice, long, elaborate spend a day with me, I'm going to put it on my YouTube.
Okay. So we have TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. Anything else? Do you have a website, or is having a website old school?
I have a website. I do. I have a Shopify, which I have to work on. I might be rebranding my Shopify.
So Shopify is a platform to create your own store, kind of?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have my Shopify right now, but I want to rebrand it. I want to change the theme of my website. Right now, it's not where I want it to be. And I'm trying to figure out my whole merchandise on there, what I want to sell and what I don't, because I already have an Etsy, which is not my own website. It's under Etsy. But, you know, I already have all the merchandise in there. So I'm thinking maybe for Shopify, I might change up what I'm selling on there and just kind of start fresh and maybe do something else. I'm not sure what I'm doing with it yet, but I do have my own website right now, to answer the question. And then I have a website for my photography as well, to show my gallery of my work. So I have websites for like certain things, you know, and I have a portfolio for my UGC. So I guess it's considered a website. You can just go on there and look at my work and what I charge and things like that. So I have a website for each thing that I'm into, like, you know, because I do have a lot of, I know that it can be confusing to someone. They go onto one of my links and they're like, dang, she does a lot of stuff. Do a lot of things. And so I kind of like try to make it as easy as possible to get to the direct spot that you need, but depending on what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so everything that you have described sounds like a lot of work. Can you walk us through a day in the life of Natalie? How do you decide what to do in a day? How many hours or minutes does it take? How many of these things or videos do you do? When do you post? Like, walk us through a day in your life.
Okay, well,
more or less.
I'm not gonna lie to you, my scheduling is not as organized or scheduled, like it's not even a schedule. I can't even call it a schedule. It's just out there, like, because I get up and I take my son to school and I come right back and I'm like, dang, I have these boxes in front of me of brands that I need to do content for. So I'll make those you know, I might have to come up with a concept, and I might be sporadic. Because I love to sometimes work under pressure. And that's a problem for me sometimes because I might work the best at that time, but it's not good because it's cutting like real close to deadlines. And so what I usually do is come up with the script. I might do a video and I come up with the script days later for that video, or I will do everything in one shot in that same day. I'll do all the content for all the brands that I've had, like I've collaborated with and I got the products already. I'll do everything in one shot, create that, and figure out how I want to execute the creation, and then do the script for it, do the voiceover, decide if I want to do it on paper and do a voiceover or talk to the actual camera with the product. So there's different things because some of these brands give you creativity to do that. So I don't have a schedule, which I should, and I don't recommend anyone to not have one because it just works for me. But it's, you know, but sometimes I just write down my things and I kind of just, and some days I'll write it in my calendar and like what I'm doing that day and like, okay, I gotta get this, that done, but I don't have a time when I'm doing it. I just know I gotta get it done that day. So I'll try to do that for myself. I'll create either, like I said, I'll do batch content, create everything in one day. For my boutique, same thing. I might, if I have able to promote it, I'll do that. Or I'll go back and look at old videos of like what I promoted where I still have that merchandise or that, you know, product. I'll use that and refurnish it and re-promote it again. So I can have something to post for my brand as well. So I try to play it smart and not always, like how they always say, work smarter, not harder. So that's what I've been trying to, do. And as far as the photography, like I said, I don't promote that as much as I should, but I definitely use all my platforms and I kind of connect them all in a way, because when I post on my UGC, like on my main page on Instagram, if I post something on my story, I'm going to post it on my photography page on that story, and I'm going to post it on the story for my boutique page on Instagram as well. So I promote everywhere when I'm promoting. That's the one thing about me. Once I promote, you're going to see it everywhere, like 3 times, like 5 times, because that's how I get myself out there. So I try to do that. So my day's kind of really sporadic. It's just, I'm always on the go. I'm a hustler in that mode. I'm always like on that survival mode, like, oh, I gotta do this. I don't know how to sit still. And so it could be really overwhelming for some people. So when I explain things that I do, or explain like how I get things done, they're like, whoa, like that's a lot of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, when you put it on paper, it's a lot, it is a lot. But I thoroughly enjoy it. It keeps me busy because I don't like to sit still. And that's the thing about me, is that I feel like when I put the energy into something that I actually enjoy, it's not a job for me. It's something I care about, and it's something that I'm like learning from. And I get to I'm always connecting with other UGC creators. And I have people contact me like, hey, I'm trying to get into this. Did you work with this brand before? Because I don't know if it's a scam. How do I start this? How do I start that? And I'm like, the fact that I'm making some type of like impact while I'm doing all my chaos here is great. I'm doing something and I'm gaining knowledge from it. So my day is really out there. And some days I don't do any content. Sometimes I just go out and I'll just go to the store and I just do something and try to be off the phone as far as my content goes. But there's days where I don't know how to not do that. And I might go to Walmart and still record me going to Walmart, like, hey, come with me to Walmart. Or I'm going to record something while I have a chance. So I'm always recording. And if I don't, I try not to do it. I try to put my phone down, and it's rough because it is addicting. Content creating is it's addicting. It's a problem, but it's a good problem, I think, because it's my income. I'm trying to make it a full-time income. So I kind of need to be on social media all the time.
So if someone is interested in doing what you're doing, what is the equipment that they need to buy? What things do you need to produce all these things?
A laptop would be great, or a tablet to edit. Tripod, a ring light. If you could get a ring light, that's a tripod, and then a tripod on its own without the ring light, that's great. Like this one, I can show you right now. This one I use sometimes, and it's not a ring light, so I use that, and it has a Bluetooth little remote, so you can press. You don't have to touch your screen or whatnot to record.
You're not doing this?
No. Try not to.
I'm gonna start my video.
Exactly. I try not to. I have one of those, and I also just recently bought a light that you can connect. It's like a phone light, so you can connect it to your phone, and it has a clip, and so it's like a bright light on your face, so you don't have to carry a big ring light everywhere you go if you're gonna do content outside the house. So I definitely recommend. Why
is the light so important?
Because it gives when you have like no light, unless you have natural light, which is even better. If you can use sunlight, that's great. If you don't have it, then you kind of have to use artificial light to make the video more enhanced and show your face better in the video, or the product more in the video, because it could look really dark and dull and not clear. You won't be able to see like the details of whatever you're trying to show. And so when you have like the light on, like right now I have a light on me, and if I turn it off, I can show the difference of what I don't know if you want me to, but I can show the difference.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this is the difference.
I think I'm about to sneeze. If I sneeze in the middle of the interview, forgive me. Okay, so that's without the light.
This is without. With.
Okay.
So it makes a huge difference. And obviously, you know, like I said, natural light's way better, but in certain places you don't have light coming in your home, you need to invest in that type of light. They have different lights that also like, they help, like it makes it look natural. So there's like lights out there that are supposed to be like a sunlight, you know, for you, artificial sunlight, and it's supposed to help give that look. So I mean, there's definitely things that you can, I think, are necessities when you're trying to create content.
So internet connection is a must.
Oh, definitely.
Internet connection, a tablet or a laptop, your phone with a good camera, tripod, ring light or specific lights to put next to your phone. What else?
I would say if you have like storage, always get extra storage on your phone. Like Google, I don't know, Google Drive or whatnot, because you're gonna have my storage is always like, you're running out. And I'm like, oh no. So I have to go back into like my archives and get rid of some stuff I don't use anymore or need, because I have videos to create. So always the storage is huge. You know, it makes a huge difference. And I guess editing, you know, you're editing, CapCut's a good platform, like app to use to edit. So a good editing app would be is necessary. And I think that's mainly the main things.
Do you need microphones?
Yes, you do. But personally, I don't have one yet. And I have what I do, and it might sound funny, but I go to my closet, and when I'm by myself, I go to my closet and I close it, and that's like I'm in my secluded it's like my own little recording studio, and I do my videos there. I'll redo my voiceovers in there and just do my video, and you don't hear anything. It sounds crisp. It sounds fine. But of course, you know, obviously circumstances are different for everybody. And if it's good to get one of those microphones, then it's good. It's a good investment too. Definitely.
So now, how long have you been doing this?
UGC content creating since August. Content creating in a whole, about 3 years.
3 years. Okay. And so it seems like you have been building a clear idea of what you want for your life with your business. So what is next for you in this line of work?
My goals right now are to build full-time income from my brand collaborations and just do monthly retainers where I'm specifically in a contract and I'm making a certain amount of videos a month and I'm getting a certain amount of payment a month, and it's a set contract. That's my goal, to at least do with 3 brands. So because if I could do, let's say, I don't know, 3,000 for one brand, just for a certain amount of videos, then that's 3,000 each. That's right there is set. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like that's enough. That's what I need. But obviously better, the more the better. But that's a good start. And so if I can get paid collaborations or, you know, long term, for my online boutique, I want to learn I'm trying to understanding like the rebranding. I might want to rebrand. Not sure if I'm going to keep all the merchandise I currently have on there, but I want to sit there and try to just figure out what I really want my boutique, and if I want to completely change it out, and just have a consistent passive income from that as well. Because I definitely want to have money coming in more consistently than I do right now. So that's my goal for that. And then for my photography, that's just real flexible. You know, if I have opportunities come my way, I take it, depending on what it is. But I'm not going to say, you know, it's my full-time focus right now. So those are my 3 things right now. I'm actually going back to school.
Oh, congratulations.
Excuse me. Yes, I'm very excited. And it has to do with what I'm going for is communications. I'm going for my bachelor's in communications. And so I can learn like the social media marketing, social media, you know, management. I could use it it's about helping with my public speaking and certain things. So I think it's great, and it's gonna just have that under my belt, those skills under my belt. So when I'm looking for a job within that field, and it helps me with my own content, creating like for UGC. It helps me with my business online because I know how to like the behind the scenes on how to get it out there and promote. And I think it's just going to benefit me in so many different ways. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to invest in myself and my education as well and go back to school.
Very nice. So you will never be a 9-to-5 office woman.
That's my goal. I'm trying to stay away from. Definitely trying to stay. I said I'm definitely trying to stay away from that. Definitely. I mean, it works for some people, and it's just for me. I'm like miserable getting there. Like I literally can feel like I get up, and I'm not trying to complain. You know, income's income, but like it's just like it's you just feel like this is not it. Like this is not what I want, and it's like you want to do something you enjoy every day. Like you don't know, God forbid something happens the next day. Are you gonna be able to say like, dang, I really got to pursue things I loved or I tried at least. At least I want to do that. I don't want to sit here and regret. It's never regrets. Let me rephrase myself. It's not the regrets because I think everything's our lessons. But at the end of the day, when you're going to wake up and you're dragging yourself somewhere, I think that's a hint right there that you kind of need to reevaluate. Because I don't want to get up and drag somewhere every day and have to do it because I had no choice. I don't want that. I don't have a choice feeling. I want to have that flexibility, and I want to be able to have my own income in my time and when I choose to. And that's what my goals are right now, is just to get that to that level. So that's what I'm working on.
The people you know in your own generation, are they opting for these kinds of jobs, like becoming entrepreneurs and producing their own online content or whatever, or are they in 9-to-5 office jobs?
So most of my friends are 9-to-5 office jobs, and there's a few that are like one's working on photography. She wants to get into photography and her own business in that. The other one, I know she's in the same spectrum as I am, and she is doing her lip gloss, her makeup and like lip gloss branding now. She's learning into Shopify. She's getting into all that and just drop shipping and all that cool. And I'm like, cool, this is something that me and her can have a full, like we can have a conversation about this for hours. So me and her are on the same mindset with that. But I do have friends and one's starting YouTube. She just started a YouTube channel. So I do have friends that have their own businesses or trying to get their businesses out there. And I do have some that are just on 9-to-5 and, they're just kind of like doing that, which is great. I mean, either path you go is great. I know that personally I'm trying to, I do know that they always say the people that you surround yourself with is who you tend to become or what you kind of lean towards. So I do want to network. I'm trying to network with more people that are either in the same position that like in that path as I am, that mental, or they're already on that level and they're already successful. And I'm like, dang, I need to be where they're at. That's where I'm trying to go. So I need to be their friend too and trying to network and just learn from them. So I do have, I'm trying to like balance that out, if that makes sense.
Okay. Very interesting, Natalie. Very interesting. I think it's time for us to go to the no moment. So it seems that your yeses have led you to this wonderful world of becoming an entrepreneur, being your own boss, deciding how you want to live your life for you and your son, following your own rules and your own beliefs and your own creating your own path. Mm-hmm. But the no's are also very important. So tell us now a moment in your life when you thought, I think this is the perfect time to say no. What is it and what happened?
Well, the perfect time for me when I said no was like, see, that's like that's a deep question, because I've said no for certain things within my career, as far as photography and for my boutique and for content creating. For my boutique, I said no when it came to certain things on shirts. I've had suggestions like you should put this on shirts and that in shirts, which I always took suggestions, but if it wasn't like within the mission that I was trying to gain, I wasn't able. I didn't want to put it on shirts because I feel like it was kind of trying to drift away from the mission and why I started my business from the get-go, you know. And people are always gonna have their opinions on like, you should put this on a shirt, you should put this on a mug, or you should do this. And for me, it just didn't feel right to do that. So those are my moments where I was like, no, I'm sticking to my ground on what I wanted my business to represent. And as far as my photography goes, same thing as far as like pricing. I've had people suggest you should lower the prices, or you should add these services to your, you know, packages because people are gonna like this, or you should do that. I'm like, well, that's not what I want to do. And that's not what I feel like I should do for my own business, because I am not gonna lower my price for anybody because to fit their budget. If they can't afford that, then there's other people that are photographers as well that have lower budgets that would fit for them. But I'm not gonna lower my own rates for their benefit. So if I had, now those were moments where I had to put my foot down and just be like, no, I'm not doing that. And same thing for my UGC with brands. I've said no to brands that were trying to pay me a certain price that was way unreasonable for what they wanted as far as content goes. And I wasn't okay with that. And so I said no to certain brands that were paid, but they weren't either in my value. Like I just didn't think I was going to use that product, or what they wanted for the content didn't match the price. And same thing with the contracts. I said no to brands because of what I've seen in the contracts. And I just felt like, no, that's not comfortable. And I feel like I'm getting lowballed for that too. So those are moments where I said no, and it just made me feel more stern and more confident within myself as a business owner, and to know what I want, what I'm looking for, and to feel like I need to get that respect as the content creator, as a business owner, and on my online boutique, as a photographer. I feel like when I have a set thing of what I know that I am doing for my business, and I show that, it gives more respect for your business, because no one's gonna try to like, oh, let me be sneaky and try to take advantage because she don't really know what she can, maybe I'll be able to get this price lower. Like, and I'm like, nope, I know what I want for these things, and that's what it's gonna be. So these are my services. If you can't do it, it's great. Okay, great. I understand you can't do it. If you can, that's awesome too, you know? So those are moments where I put my foot down and said no to those things, and it's made a bit different as far as my confidence goes with my businesses.
Have you sat down to figure out what your mission and your vision are, or is it something that comes from within, like, this doesn't feel right, I'm not gonna do it?
I did it within like my intuition.
Mhm.
Most times, yeah, I should write down things, you know, because it's more organization. But most of the time it's my intuition where it just doesn't feel right, you know. And I follow that, and I just know that I always trust that the universe got me. You know, I always feel like the universe is going to give me the opportunities are going to come my way that's meant for me. And if it's not, it's okay. And I'm just learning from it, you know. And if I might get scammed, because it's going to happen, you know, you get scammed, you're like, oh no, you learn. You get lowballed, you did a photography session and you got less for what you, like as a photographer, I got paid less than what I could have charged. It's a lesson. You know, it's like now I'm learning these things. And so I always just trust the intuition, the universe, and just kind of feel like, okay, this don't feel right. And if I get that this don't feel right feeling, then I'm like, it probably doesn't. It's probably not the right thing to do then. You know, and sometimes I try to write things down and think about like maybe I can negotiate with them and what benefits both of us depending on what the circumstances are. And I'll think about it. You know, I'm not straight to like no, but you know, most of the time I know what I want. And so now that I've learned more behind it.
But it's interesting because I would have thought that having the business plan and writing your mission and your vision and your guidelines and everything would make your life easier. But sometimes, and I'm gathering this from what you're saying, it's so much more difficult to find your gut feeling and trust it. When you have all these written plans, rationally, you want to stick with what you had, even though you may have this gut feeling of, oh, it doesn't feel right. And then you make a very bad decision. So it seems that you're starting from the other side. You have learned, which is something very difficult for everybody of any age. You have learned how to trust your own intuition and go with it. And it has, I mean, it has taught you different lessons, but overall, it has shown you the way you want to live, which is very lovely and very important.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I do need to, I do need to have like more of a set thing in front of me. I know I need to write down like my goals, and I know I need to, like, I do write them down. I have written them down, what I want to accomplish, how I want, but I could be more specific on them to help me manifest what I want. But like you said, like I went the opposite direction. I did just follow my intuition with a lot of my things that I started. I didn't have a plan for UGC. I just did it. I didn't think about it. I didn't write anything down like, hey, I wonder what the benefits are. Let's pros and cons this. It wasn't that. I just like, why? Let's go for it. And I just learned along the way. And same thing with my boutique. I didn't have a set plan. I didn't even write down like, oh, let me see what I'm going to sell, what's going to be on this stuff, like what are the prices for these things, how am I going to find the inventory, or am I doing inventory, am I not? Like I just did it. I just figured it out, like that's just how I've been doing things, just figuring it out as I go along. Because like you said, not everything can be like organized and executed in that order all the time. Sometimes you just gotta wing it. Things are gonna come out you left and right in life, and you're not gonna prepare for everything. So it's just like, just go for it. Sometimes you're not gonna have a business plan. That's fine. Just do it. That business plan will come. It'll come. Same thing with the UGC. It'll come. You just practice, keep going with it. It'll come. You'll learn as you go. And it's like, so that's why, I think it's super important. Like, it's super important to just follow your values, follow your morals, what you believe in, because there's so many opinions are going to be in your ears, so much. How much should you charge? What you should sell? What's popular? What you should do? How you should promote? All this stuff. But is it authentic? Is it you? Is that something you wanted, or is it something because you've heard other people telling you that you should do it, and you just think that now all you're doing is putting yourself in a path? It's like the farms where you have all these the sheep going in one direction, and all you did was put yourself in that group. All you did was put yourself with the rest of the sheep, just going in the same path. Like, that's not me. I want to do my own thing, and I'll figure it out. Thank you for your input, but I'll figure this out. I'll figure it out. But I'm also a student. Don't get me wrong. I always see myself as a student. I always take in, if I see it's valuable information, I'm going to soak it in. I'm definitely going to use it and like, oh, that's true. Let me learn more about that, because that's something I could actually utilize. But I know the difference when it's something that's just opinions and there's something that's valuable information that I can actually use. And it's not criticism. It's really, this is some resources that I know you're going to use and could help you. That you can come to me with all day, and I'm like, okay, good. Let me write this down. So it depends on you. You kind of like feel that out. You kind of know who's there for you, who's not, who has these opinions, all of that, and you learn it as you go. That's just go with the flow.
Two things. I'm thinking of, with you going back to school, it seems that you're trying to find this balance between what you have learned doing it by yourself, with whatever you knew and are discovering in the process, with the established, let's say, knowledge. And you're trying to find this balance between, all these things that other people have learned from businesses with what you've managed to accomplish so far, which is very smart. And then the second thing I was thinking is, and now I forgot. So, yes, that the fact that, so for the new generations like yours, who have grown up with this social media world that we didn't have growing up, it must be so much more difficult and complicated and complex to find your own voice, because before we had all these platforms and all this access to the entire world through the internet. The opinions you heard were your family, friends, acquaintances, but basically it was a small group. So I want to do this, and then you would hear basically the same voices. No, don't do this. But it was a small group. But for your generation and the new generations, it's those opinions exponentially higher. So the number has gone, it's unlimited. So whatever you do, you're gonna have billions of opinions from different perspectives, doing from the completely yes to the completely no. You're gonna have all this. So trying to find your voice in that world must be so difficult, Natalie.
Yes, yeah, I can't lie. It's overwhelming. And it's like one of those things where you have to have that strong will, and like always be professional when you're like, especially it depends on what your, content's about and what you're doing. But that's the tough part, is that you have to know and learn that these opinions on social media are literally just opinions. You don't know these people. You don't know who they are. They don't know you. They only know what you posted. So it's just one of those things you have to learn to like roll off your back. And that's one of those things that you just have to like understand, that when you're on social media, you're always gonna have negative and positive comments. So you can't help that. And so it's different when it's family and friends, because it's more personal, you know them, and you do take their opinions more deeper. But I think it becomes like, it depends on the person. But for me as a person, now that when I'm online and I get negative comments, I laugh at them. As bad as it sounds. I'm like, like, oh, this person took time to literally comment this. And they literally went on, watched my video. Thank you though. Thank you for watching my video and giving me that extra view. I appreciate it. Like I think about it like that. All you did was heighten my content. And so it's crazy, because a lot of people said, don't delete the negative comments. Leave them, because those bring you more engagement. Those people are gonna bring more people, because now you have someone that's showing, and then some people will even defend you, and they might comment like, why are you even on her, like, don't comment this, or why are you in her stuff, and blah blah. And it's like, you don't have to do anything, just leave it alone. Because why are you letting that 1, 2, 3 comment of negative comments out of 10, 11, 100 positive ones affect you?
You're stronger than I am. When I created my YouTube channel, one of the things uploaded in the video that I had to select was whether I was willing to open the space for comments, comments with me reviewing them, or no comments. And I thought about it and I said, no, I don't think I'm gonna survive allowing comments. And then, because I've seen so many interviews of people who say, like actors or writers or like famous people saying, it's always like they can have 1,000 comments, positive comments, and it's always the one mean comment that they remember. And I said, I know how my brain works, and I know I'm going to be the same. Like if that happens to me, it doesn't matter how many people like the videos or the interviews. If I get that one mean comment,
right,
I'm gonna get hurt and I'm not gonna like it. So I just decided I'm gonna not allow comments. So whoever likes the videos, good for them. Whoever doesn't like the videos, then I won't find out.
Right.
But what you do is so mature, like.
Yeah, I had to learn that way. I had to, because in the beginning I was like that. In the beginning I was like hurt, and I'm like, dang, and then it would repeat in my head, and I would be throughout the day, like that would bother me, that comment. And I'm like, and sometimes I'll respond, sometimes I don't. If I respond, I'm like, I'll say something like, professional, try to be. Other times I'll say something slick back, like it depends. It depends. And then other times, I'm just ignoring it now. Like, I'm not even putting my energy into it anymore. Like now, because I don't get that many. I can't say I get like a ton of negative comments where it's to that extent. But when I did, it did affect me in the beginning, and now I kind of just let it, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, because I have so many supporters, and those are the ones that matter to me. Not the ones that just come out of nowhere that I barely, never showed up on my page before, decided to comment, say something a little negative just to mess up my day. And why am I giving them that benefit? No, I got a whole bunch of my supporters behind my back. They got me. Why am I letting you come into this space of what I'm building to mess up my energy? And I'm letting you, and everyone else is like, that means not all it tells me and shows is that what they're saying I'm so used to now. I'm like, oh, it's whatever now. this person just came in with a negative comment and I let that's all I'm focused on right now. You'll be like, no, they're not getting that. I'm not giving them that satisfactory. So I just ignore it and I keep it, they keep it on there, I leave it on there because I'm just showing I'm versatile. I'm not gonna, if it is what it is. You're entitled to your opinion, it doesn't mean I have to respect it. I mean, I respect it, but I don't have to comment, is what I'm saying. So, I just leave it. I leave it now, but I'm getting stronger as I go along with social media because it comes with the territory. There's nothing I can do about that. So I just, obviously I haven't had any like to the extent of like that really got to me, but yeah, I've had negative comments, I do. And it's okay. So I just like keep it moving, and like you said, you just kind of have to, yourself. If it doesn't, you know how you are and like what affects you. So you always protect yourself. You do what you have to do.
Yeah. Well, Natalie, this has been very enlightening. I've learned so many things about social media that I didn't know before.
Well, I'm glad I can do something. I know I'm scatterbrained. So when I'm talking, I'm like all over. That's how my thoughts go. This is me daily.
Thank you so much for having said yes to coming to my YouTube channel. I wish you the best of luck in your business and your plans and going back to school. I mean, based on everything we've seen and everything you've shared so far, you have a very bright future. So good luck with everything. I'm very proud of you. And I love you.
I love you, Diti. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be on here right now. So I hope I did okay. And I'm just jabbering off. So I'm hoping it made sense in what I said. I appreciate, the time and the opportunity to just speak about what I do and what I'm going for, my goals, and just, have a time to like kind of elaborate it on more.
And thank you to Jaden for having been quiet throughout our interview.
Seconds ago, but yeah.
Please send me pictures, images that we can add at the end of this interview to show the audience what you do, what you produce. And again, I love you. I'm very proud of you. Bye, Jaden.
She can hear you.